NFC Championship game, and one might say it was not Purdy for one particular team.
Nope, nope, nope.
The Eagles kind of dominated, although their offense was kind of stale for the most of the time. But they found a way to win against the number one defense, and I think that's what people need to focus on is the number one defense versus Philly's offense. Yes, when Purdy got hurt, it was pretty much a wrap. But what the Eagles did, what that offensive line did, what Lane Johnson hurt did to Nick Bosa, the only time you saw Nick Bosa in that game was when he almost got a safety on Jalen Hurts. After that, you did not hear Nick Bosa's name for the entirety of the game, unless it was people heckling Joey Bosa. It's the only time you heard Bosa all game, which was pretty funny. I mean, he was like,
"I'm a millionaire."
Yeah, he was like, "I'm rich. I can pay the fines." And it's like, all right, dude, like, cool. Like,
but I mean, to be fair, Philly's
dangerous.
We went to a game in Philly, man, and we went to a preseason game.
Yeah, fans were,
and the fans are ruthless, man. Ruthless. They do not care about your soul, your family, your grandkids. Kids
flipping you off.
Yeah, they will go after everything in Philly, man. They do not care. So I mean, I kind of get it. You know, his response was like, "I'm rich. You know, I don't care about fines." And plus, he's a big dude. That's somebody I personally wouldn't heckle. But he's not a small guy.
He's one big dude, but you know how many drunk Philly fans can he take on at one time? So.
But you know, Bosa's not rolling solo. You know, Bosa's got some backup. You know, it's not just going to be Bosa. He probably has some type of detail with him. I'm not going to say like a Secret Service type of.
No, he probably has like Jackson Mahomes, doing TikTok dances to keep everyone away. Like, watch out, guys.
I mean, that's a good way to get people to stay away from you.
I don't even know what TikTok dances, but yeah.
But yeah, I mean, the defense for the 49ers throughout the entire season was the best defense.
They were scary,
without
man.
a doubt.
Yeah.
Without a doubt, they were the best defense, and that was the main reason why they were the team to beat. It wasn't the offense, because the offense has been shredded due to injuries all year. Purdy put on a phenomenal show up until he got injured. It was still the defense that made them the team that they were, which was confusing because it was so lackluster. It was like they didn't know that the game was going on that day. Like you said, Bosa was almost non-existent. I know at one point he got injured on the sideline. I don't know exactly what happened there, but it didn't look like it was an injury that should take him out of the game or make him less of a threat. But they were just non-existent, and the Eagles were just rolling. If it was there, they took advantage of it, and the 49ers just kept giving it up and up and up and up over and over again.
Yeah. And Philly's thing, and Ark Armstead was one of the best run defensive tackles in the game. I like to watch, if you guys don't already, follow Brian Baldinger, former Colts and Eagles offensive lineman, NFL Network analyst. He does things called Baldy Breakdown. And I was watching his, I like to watch how he breaks down the offensive line and stuff like that. There was multiple plays. It was literally run at Armstead, which the regular season you'd be like, no, don't do that. But for whatever reason, it was working. Jordan Mailata, Landon Dickerson, Jason Kelsey, they were throwing this grown man left and right and opening holes for Miles Sanders, Kenneth Gainwell, Boston Scott. And I think once the Eagles realized that they kind of had that advantage, that that was it. I mean, they literally just kept targeting that left side, or that we say right side. He's a right defensive tackle if you're looking at it from the defensive perspective. But they just kept running that way right at him, and it worked. Now, Purdy got hurt the sixth play of the game. Pretty early. I mean, that's sixth play of the game. That's early. But Josh Johnson, the journeyman quarterback, you knew that coming in. You should have had Josh Johnson better prepared. Because if the only quarterbacks you got are Purdy and Josh Johnson, the Eagles have
Christian McCaffrey.
Yeah, Christian McCaffrey. You got to potentially play with the potential that maybe someone's going to get hurt.
No.
Now, of course,
especially with the season that they had.
Now, we would have liked Purdy to maybe play through that injury. I know he could barely grip the football, but at least show some tenacity, maybe go, no, coach, I'm going to go back out there, play another series, be like, oh, no, I can't really do it, and then the coach take you out. To me, it looked soft. It did, and I hate to say that. I know he's got a UCL injury, and he, in Major League Baseball, that's a major surgery. That's, what's it called, the Johnson surgery or whatever, for pitchers. Tommy Johnson. And so that's going to be a big-time surgery for him, and he probably won't be back, halfway maybe through the next season. So, it's going to be Trey Lance next year probably for the 49ers at this point now. But you would at least like to see him show that tenacity, to maybe that grit of being the last pick in the draft. Everyone's doubted you, to maybe find that courage, maybe that strength to just kind of go out there, because this is your last shot to prove you are worth the pick.
So I agree with that. I agree with the in the NFL, you got to have grit, and as a quarterback, you have to have the most. You need to be the one that sets the tone for the team. And while you do say that you would have loved to see him get back out there, throughout the entire game, they kept showing him on the sideline getting worked on, trying to throw the ball, trying to grip the ball. He put his helmet back on. He put his warmer on. He was sitting there just ready to go. I think this was more of a coach's decision to keep him out of the game, more so than a Brock Purdy not wanting to get back in there, because most players that don't want to get in, that helmet's not going back on.
Yeah, like Jimmy G, he's smiling on the sideline while his team's losing 31-7. So.
Yeah, with Trey Lance right next to
Trey
him.
Lance,
but Purdy, he put his helmet back on. He had his elbow wrapped up, but it looked like he wanted to get back in the game. I definitely don't want to take anything away from him, especially because he's a rookie. This is his first time ever being in a situation like this, and an injury like that can affect you pretty severely if you continue on and let it get worse and worse. It was a full tear of that tendon that goes through your elbow there, so he was unable to grip the ball. But eventually he did get back into the game. I think he only threw 2 times, and they were like check down passes.
Yeah.
So he didn't really try and throw it. And after the game, he said there was just no way he could possibly grip the ball. Like, that ability to grip the ball was gone.
Do you blame Kyle Shanahan because he's an offensive genius, but he did not, like, once he saw Purdy go down and he knew Josh Johnson, everyone knows, people who aren't even coaches know Josh Johnson's ability. He's been to 15 different teams for a reason. So while Kyle Shanahan is a great offensive mind, I would have liked to see him go, okay, we're going to have to go Wildcat, do something. We're going to have to do something different. Get CMC involved, get George Kittle involved and stuff like that. You have Debo, who's a gadget, just like Cordell Patterson with the Falcons. So you would have liked to see Kyle Shanahan maybe go, all right, we lost our quarterback, that sucks, but I have to get my team, I have to be the coach, I have to get my team under wrap, I have to get that confidence. CMC, maybe you're not throwing the ball and you take that one aspect away, but CMC was running pretty decent. He was,
The 100% this is on Kyle Shanahan. And the reason we talked about this is once Jimmy G got hurt. So you have Trey Lance, boom. I think it was second game of the season hurt.
Yeah.
Then Jimmy G hurt out for the remainder of the season. Then you're left with Brock Purdy. You need to sign somebody else, because you cannot just have 2 quarterbacks going in to an NFC Championship game.
Always be 3.
Yeah, you can't go in there with 2 quarterbacks, especially one that is a journeyman quarterback whose ability is just there to garbage time. That's pretty much what you would put him in for. Definitely not a backup quarterback for an NFC Championship. And I hate to say that, because, he's been around the league for, 15 different teams? Yeah. But you definitely need a third quarterback there for situations like this. Like, there's plenty of people that are sitting at home that you could have picked up and signed for a year for like $1 million. There's what's his name? Ben DiNucci. You could have signed up Ben DiNucci. There's the former Green Bay Packer quarterback. I can't remember his name.
Kurt Bunkert.
Yeah, Kurt Bunkert. I know he's sitting at home right now. There's plenty of quarterbacks.
He was with the 49ers. They cut him. He was with the 49ers.
He probably would have been like, I'll head right back.
Yeah.
He already knows the playbook and everything like that. So it boils down to the coaching staff for not preparing that team for potential injuries, because this whole team has been injured left and right. and they should have seen something coming, or at least prepared for a situation where Brock Purdy gets injured.
Yeah.
And they didn't, and they failed. And then whenever Brock Purdy was out, everything stopped. The only thing that they had going for them was CMC, and CMC can only do so much.
Yeah. And as you guys can see at home in the graphic, it says he got Brocked. What a Purdy injury. This injury is significant because, yes, the 49ers were going to lose at that point. Just was kind of written in stone. But it's going to carry into next season. You have Trey Lance. Didn't look good.
Who's going to start?
He's going to start. Did not look good. And he was smiling on the sideline, which, side note, if I'm your teammate and I see you smiling on the sideline with Jimmy Garoppolo, you're not my leader next season. Because we are losing 31-7. How dare you? I'm as a teammate. I am pissed off. Getting killed in the championship game, getting embarrassed on the championship game on national.
I'm not mad. I wouldn't be mad at Jimmy G though, because he knows he's gone.
Yeah, I mean they were making him practice by himself. They were literally making him practice by himself. Yeah. So I get Jimmy G, but Trey Lance, come on, dude, you got to be smarter than that. You cannot be smiling. This has got to be going up to your guys, going, "Hey, I'm hurt," whatever, clapping hands and stuff like, "Hey, you guys got it. You got it. You got it. Get your head out the game." I don't want to see you cracking jokes. I mean, and that's just that. But, I don't know. The Eagles, this was an impressive win to me, but not as nearly as impressive when Brock Purdy got out. I think there was impressive moments for Philly, especially for their defense. I think their offense staled out. It didn't look great. Their offense,
offense definitely needs some polishing up. And I think a lot of that has to do with Jalen Hurts not being 100%. No. And he came into the game saying that too. He said that he wasn't 100%. But if that's Jalen Hurts not at 100%, the league should be scared of 100% Jalen Hurts, without a doubt. Because there were some passes that he missed.
Big one at A.J. Brown.
There were some TDs he missed. But if that is a not 100% with a hurt shoulder, Jalen Hurts, digging deep, going out there and saying, I'm not sitting this one out. It's the NFC Championship. I'm going out and playing. I don't care if I'm not 100%. I know I'm going to have a target on my back. I know they're going to be going for my shoulder, whatever. I'd be scared if he is 100%.
We got 2 weeks of the Super Bowl, so, that's plenty of time to recover.
Yeah. If he's 100%, that offensive line does what they just did this past game, and your defense is the way that they played, that's a scary team. And I don't want to sit here and say that because I'm rooting for the Eagles because you're an Eagles fan, but as a NFL fan watching, that's scary.
Yeah.
And for the Kansas City Chiefs, Patrick Mahomes is still dealing with a high ankle sprain, and I know he said, he's doing good, and the grace of God,
he looked fine.
And the grace of God healed me. But if he is actually dealing with a high ankle sprain, it will be a problem.
Yeah,
because his movement and his ability to scramble out of the pocket is one of his biggest weapons. So I don't know if he actually has a high ankle sprain. I know he probably sprained his ankle, but when I watched the replay of the injury, it didn't look like a high ankle sprain. I've had a high ankle sprain, and the way he's walking around and playing into that game, somebody needs to start checking the juice that's in his water bottle because it's something other than water or Gatorade or something. Because I could be a month after and I'm like,
yeah.
But he thanked God for giving him the ability to heal that fast, which and if he did, cool. But I'd still be worried and concerned about Patrick Mahomes' injury and potentially getting re-injured because I think this has happened to him a couple of times. I think his legs have been giving him a couple of issues over the past 2-3 years now. So,
yeah.
But the Eagles, they looked good considering the Jalen Hurts injury. He wasn't 100%. I definitely wouldn't say that it's concerning. 2 weeks to get straight, get healed up, rest up. I think they'll be good.
Yeah, and I agree. I think, like I said, the Eagles' defense was super impressive. They broke the sack record, and you have Hassan Reddick, and this is why we can go back to Kyle Shanahan for a bit. Not only not having a third-string quarterback, changing up your game plan. You have Hassan Reddick. I think he had 18.5 sacks at this point. Why are you blocking him with a tight end? On the play that Purdy got hurt, they were blocking him solo. There was no help. It was a tight end. There was no tackle. The right tackle didn't help block Hassan Reddick. It was a simple mano-a-mano, and Hassan Reddick is way too good to be blocking with it. And I understand. It's a play-action pass. That's usually, historically, what happens is the tight end blocks or at least chips the defensive end. But you have to gauge who he's going against. It's not going against a normal defensive end. He's going against Hassan Reddick, who has 18.5 sacks. As an offensive coordinator, you at least put another tight end over there, or maybe another tackle, maybe a backup tackle. You overload. That'll be the right side of the offensive line. Put that tight end there, let him chip, or have the extra tackle help block Hassan Reddick. You don't go one mano-a-mano. Hassan Reddick wins that 10 out of 10 times, and he did, and now Brock Purdy's hurt because of it. The Eagles' defense was impressive. The offense has the ability to do better. They played decent. They have a chance to do better. To everyone out there who doubted Jalen Hurts, including myself last year, this man needs his props. Last year, I was calling for his head, and it's time for me to stand in the paint. I said, there is no way he is a franchise quarterback. He had like a 50%.
Multiple times.
Yes. He had a 50% completion percentage. And everything. And I said, if he's going to be a franchise quarterback, he has to improve as a passer. And that was true. It's not like I was wrong back then. That was true. But the amount, and Taylor said this, he said every year at Oklahoma and Alabama, he improved. And I should have listened. I should have listened to the Sooner, all right? Sooner fan over here. Because that's what he did. He went into the offseason, said, hey, these are my weaknesses. I need to improve my pocket awareness, my progressions for reads. I need to fix my throwing motion and my accuracy. And that's what he did. And now we're seeing Jalen Hurts of potentially getting a big-time contract, and he's in the Super Bowl. So props to Jalen Hurts.
He's definitely given a big-time contract.
Yeah, and I'll stand in the paint and said I was wrong. And I'm happy to have Jalen Hurts as my quarterback now. Definitely a leader.
And you're happy to be wrong.
I'm happy to be wrong, right?
That's one of those times like, whoo, I'm glad I'm wrong.
Yeah, man. No, I'm 100% glad to be wrong. Jalen Hurts to that offense is important. And Chris Sims, former NFL quarterback, said you can put anybody in Philly's offense. Jalen Hurts is not that important. Bart Scott said the same thing. Bart Scott said some stupid things. He's kind of contingent on that. Like, that's kind of Bart Scott's kind of thing. Say something stupid. And he said, Chris Sims is still saying it, but they said the offense will still be fine without Jalen Hurts. And that is the difference. We saw what happened. They could barely beat a crappy, very bad New Orleans Saints team. And they didn't beat them, actually. They lost. So they didn't with Gardner Minshew in there, who is a decent quarterback, they were not as good as they were. Jalen Hurts' ability to run scares defenses. So even though he did not run that much against the 49ers, they still had to sit back on those RPOs. And it opened up the field for Miles Sanders, Boston Scott, and Kenneth Gainwell. So congratulations, Philly.
The only way that statement would be true is if you're placing in another great quarterback like a Patrick Mahomes, a Tom Brady, a Lamar Jackson, or a quarterback of that stature into that team, then you can plug and play with any quarterback. But you cannot put in Gardner Minshew and that offense work. We saw it. It did not work. It's not a built for any quarterback type of team. Yeah. It's Jalen Hurts is the reason why that team operates as smoothly as they do when he's on the field. It's plain and simple.
Now, Ryan says in the comments, Jalen is good. He may become great someday. I would agree. I don't think he's great yet. He's a great leader. He has great attributes as far as that goes and off the field intangibles. But he does have, he's good. He's a good quarterback. He's going to lead your team to a Super Bowl. Obviously, we see that. Is he on the Patrick Mahomes, Joe Burrow, Justin Herbert level? No. As far as talent goes. As far as wins and everything other than that, yes, he is. But he is not up there.